Peace and blessings. Welcome to TheQueenElle LLC. This is TheQueenElle. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's video is regarding our second week of May astrological updates. So let's dive in. Now, May 8th, we have, by the way, before I get started, if you have not seen the current week's astrological update video, I will link that above. That one is regarding May 1st through May 7th. So this one's May 8th through 14th. And May 8th, we have, nothing going on as far as our sun and our main 8 planets other than Earth. But we do have some lunar aspects taking place. And when you hear me refer to aspects, as well as some of the interactions between some of the planets and also the sun and moon, if you're not familiar with those aspects, I will link my planetary aspects video up above where I discuss it. And essentially, a planetary aspect is where the planets are in relation to each other and the angle that is created if we draw lines to those planets or planetary bodies from Earth. So, for instance, May 8th, we have the moon square Neptune. Now, square is a bit of a clash of an aspect. Neptune is our planet of inspiration, and with the moon, which is our planet of our emotions, as well as the mystique and any shadow work that we need to do, for it to be square Neptune, that means that there is a 90-degree angle. So it's essentially a right angle that is created when we draw lines from here on Earth to the moon and to Neptune. That is the angle that's created. Now, being square each other means that they're in a bit of a conflict. Now, the moon right now is in the sign of Sagittarius, and Neptune, let's see which sign Neptune is in right now. Neptune is in the sign of Pisces. So that means that there may be a bit of a lack of inspiration with regard to how we can do that internal work, that shadow work. But we are in luck, okay? So some of the other lunar aspects taking place also on May 8th, we have the moon trine Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is our luck planet, so this is great energy. Trine is truly lucky energy where the energies blend together. So the moon being trine Jupiter is great timing, because if you run into any type of roadblocks with regard to inspiration with that shadow work, just know that this still is a great time to do the shadow work. So you have to push through that feeling. The moon also enters the sign of Capricorn, which is really steadfast energy. It's really contemplative energy. The moon is also trine Chiron in Aries at the same time. Now, Jupiter is in Aries, Chiron is in Aries. And what is Chiron? Chiron is our planet it's one of the dwarf planets, and it's the planet that we call the wounded healer. So definitely look at your birth or natal chart to find out where you have Chiron, specifically which house in your birth chart has Chiron, because that's the aspect of your chart that could use some healing and that you could do some of that extra deep work into. And so moon in Sagittarius, trine Chiron in Aries, and also trine Jupiter in Aries means that this is a lot of fiery energy, and it's a great day to work on healing those old wounds that we have. So best day to do shadow work in the upcoming week, May 8th by far. Next, we have on May 9th, the sun is conjunct Uranus. Now, conjunct energy is the merging together. as long as you work those energies together, then they can work for your betterment. But also, if there's work to be done in that area, like for instance, with the sun being conjunct Uranus, Uranus is our planet of innovation and technology. If Uranus is in your house of health and service, for instance, then this would be a time where you need to work it to your benefit. That means that you need to be innovative in how you're doing the work of being of service to others, because the sun is who we are. It's our self. It's a sense of purpose. So it definitely will work to your benefit to look to see where Uranus is in your birth chart to see how you can work that energy together. Now, also on May 9th, we have the moon in opposition of Venus. So Venus, we know, is our love planet, but it's also the planet of our passion and the things that we enjoy. So that can be our hobbies. It can be our interests, just the things that we really like doing. So for the moon being in opposition of Venus, then you definitely want to also, just thinking about some of our retrogrades, Mercury retrograde, which is still going on through May 14th, and then also Pluto retrograde, which we really have the majority of this year all the way through October 10th. So this is a time of essentially reinventing ourselves and resetting ourselves. That's truly what retrograde is all about. So use that energy along with this moon being in opposition of Venus, where the shadow work is hard work and you might not enjoy it, but it's okay. Just know that the work is a must. Just know that the work will benefit you in the long run. And this is all for your wellness. So also on May 9th, we have the moon sextile Saturn. So the moon sextile Saturn on May 9th, as well as, the moon trine Mercury. So what does that mean? Now, sextile energy is, that's some more energies blending together. It's kind of like a give and take, but there is a synergy with that energy. And Saturn is our planet of our sense of purpose, as well as our career, the structures that we have in our life, the confines that we have in our life. So use that with your shadow work. Just know that tapping into those hidden talents and that mystique about you, whether it's using the moon energy, we have the upcoming lunar eclipse, as well as the full moon coming up on May 5th. And I believe the time that I'm posting this video will be right still, if not on the 5th, will be in the shadow period. So definitely use this time, since the shadow period is the few days after the full moon, will before and after, but use those few days between the 5th and the 8th into the 9th to manifest. Use that time to work with your shadow self. There's a yin yang that is, to be said about finding balance, and it's not, necessarily good and bad, positive, negative, but it's just a balance of who you are internally. So just know that when it comes to balancing chakras and just feeling in alignment, that the light and dark work together. It's no such thing as just all light, and just kicking the shadow self to the side. They have to work together. So it's all about finding that balance within yourself. Now, moving on to May 10th, we have the moon trine Uranus, and also the moon trine the sun, the moon in opposition of Mars, and the moon sextile Neptune, the moon square Jupiter, and then also just a lot of energy. Then we have also on the 10th, we have the sun conjunct Uranus and Mercury sextile Saturn. So what does all of that mean? Well, here we go. So the trine and sextile energy, that is great energy. Like I said, it's energy working together. It's synergy. Just know, because of all of these moon aspects taking place, some of it has to do with the fact that we have this lunar eclipse taking place just before that. But also, it's just a sign of the times. This is the time with regard to, how Pluto moved into the age of Aquarius, and now we're dealing with retrograde in Aquarius, and kind of vacillating between Aquarius and Capricorn and retrograde until next year, actually. This is the time where, we release old systems, release, obviously what no longer serves you, but releasing the old self, peeling those layers like an onion, and truly having a rebirth. And so, as a part of this rebirth, we have to do the work. We have to do the shadow work. We have to reflect on our lives, reflect on the ways that things did not work in our lives, or, to also contemplate what did work. Do this through journaling. I like to make lists. That's the the former project manager in me. But definitely go through, just the Rolodex in your mind of all of those things. Not just, living in the here and now, but in order to elevate, in order to evolve, in order to become, that new you and that elevated, upgraded version of yourself, you need to identify what activities and behaviors just don't benefit you. Maybe they never benefited you. Maybe you thought they benefited you, but now we're identifying that they didn't after all. Just figuring out what doesn't work, what won't work moving forward, and then doing something about it, doing the work to step away from it and to adopt new habits and new ways of being, to do a reset of your mind, because it starts in our mind, right? And then activating those thoughts and putting it to action through affirmations, through going through the motions and taking the steps, actively taking those steps to evolve and elevate to this heightened sense of awareness that you have. Okay, so it's just a lot of energy, but it's all great energy taking place right now. Now, we're entering a couple of the challenging days that I have found for the upcoming week, May 11th and May 12th. Now, we have the moon enters Aquarius on May 11th. The moon is conjunct Pluto, which, like I said, is great because we're doing that, releasing, resetting, and basically reviewing what life has been like thus far. Then we have the moon is square Mercury. Now, we're in Mercury retrograde. So the moon being square Mercury has to do with our communication and our dealings with others. And so you may feel a bit of a conflict with regard to how you interact with others as you're going through these steps of elevating yourself and stepping into your purpose and the next level of your life. But again, you have to push through. But you also have to take a step back and to use discernment. We're quick to use discernment when looking outwardly, projecting, on others. But we need to also use discernment with ourselves, and do like a check. Is it me? Am I the problem sometimes? Is it my own behavior that sometimes has me going through the motions and putting me, essentially back in the same place that I thought I, had left behind? So you need to do the work to identify those behaviors, again, that we're going to release and leave behind us, right? So that's May 11th. Also, Mercury will be sextile Saturn. So Saturn, again, about our purpose. So this is a great time to communicate what you want, communicate your needs, communicate what you want out of life. Do it. You can do it. Activate that throat chakra. You can do that and step into yourself, step into your better self. Now, with regard to the moon being square Mercury on the 11th at the same time, you may feel misunderstood. You may struggle with your self-expression, but like I said, you have to step through. So do something you enjoy, like a hobby or spending time with a loved one. And this is as we're moving into May 12th, and that may help you to get through the day. Um, let's see. So on May 12th, we have the moon square Uranus. We have the moon square the sun on May 12th as well. But we have Mercury sextile Venus. We have Mercury sextile Saturn. We have Venus trine Saturn. So, and this energy will take us through to the 13th. So, where you may feel a bit misunderstood and struggle with self-expression, like I said, just know that, like I've said in previous weeks, the work that you're doing will pay off. It is paying off just because you have a renewed mindset. You know, you are fully aware of what is going on with you, within you, and around you, and you're doing the work to step out of those old systems, old beliefs, old habits, and stepping into the new. Okay. Now, as we move into May 13th, we're moving into some lucky days with regard to the things that we enjoy and also love. Now, May 13th, we have the moon sextile Jupiter, and the moon enters Pisces. So that's great intuitive psychic energy. And the moon is sextile Mercury. So like I said, you just need to kind of work through the 11th and 12th to get to, you know, what I consider the lucky days of next week. We also have, let's see, we also have the moon, this is moon conjunct Saturn, moon trine Venus. And so, like I said, Venus is trine Saturn as well. So I will say the 13th, moving into the 14th as well, you may find a new stream of income. So research the new stream of income. Don't roll it out yet until after May 14th, because we will still be in Mercury retrograde until May 14th, when Mercury will go direct. But we will still have the shadow period from that point on as well for another couple of weeks. But again, you may find a new stream of income around May 13th into the 14th, but don't roll it out yet until we clear Mercury retrograde. And if you want some more information about Mercury retrograde, as well as what the shadow period is all about, I will link both of those videos above so that you can check out that information as well. So May 14th, we have the moon sextile Uranus. We have the moon sextile the sun. And then we have Jupiter square Pluto. Mars trine Neptune. Mars sextile Saturn. Again, a lot. So it's like we have some weeks where it's not too much going on, and then bam, we have a week like this upcoming week that packs a real punch. So basically, just to recap, we have shadow work, great time on May 8th. And also, you need to identify where Chiron falls in your chart, so that you can identify your focus area for your shadow work. So that's for May 8th. Then challenging days, May 11th through 12th. And it's important to just try something that you enjoy during those days, something to help get you through the day, whether it's a hobby or spending time with a loved one. And then on the 13th through the 14th, those are considered lucky days. There are a lot of energies working together for your betterment and your well-being. We also have on those days the trifecta of Mercury, Venus, and Saturn working together for our good. And then on the 14th as well, you may find a new stream of income, but don't roll it out until after we clear the 14th. Okay? So, like I said, it's a lot to take in. If you have any questions at all or need a bit of clarity, please don't hesitate to ask. It would be my pleasure to help you. I truly appreciate you joining me today, and I will be in touch. Peace. Ashe.